Great awakening, you beautiful Bravehearts all over the world. And when I say great awakening, I'm pointing right at the UK. I'm talking about England and I'm talking about Scotland. And you know what? 3 times is a charm, because we're coming for you, and we're coming with some of the most powerful bodywork trainings, emotional trainings, nutritional trainings. Okay, we're coming to actually treat you, okay, and to show you how to go from patient to practitioner, from victim to hero, and how to unconditionally love and care for yourself so that you can be that shining light for your family. Let me come to the story though. Here's the story. Like I said, we tried twice to go to the UK, okay, and both times were knocked off the shelf. And then one day I get a phone call from Steve Pollard, and I didn't know who he was, but then when I found out who he was and realized that this was magic, this was pure magic. And he's from the Good Food Project, and guess what? People know him all over the UK. Why? Because he's not just the Good Food Project, okay? He is a fantastic human being that is actually putting out the red carpet for us, and we are coming to first England, and then we're going to Scotland, and I want to bring Steve on right now and tell you that we're coming there this summer, and we're going to run through the dates, we're going to run through the trainings and the certifications and what we've put together. Listen, when like-minded people come together, and they come together to actually serve, heal, and unconditionally love their brothers and sisters, this is the magic that happens. Steve, thank you for coming on today.
Thank you, Darrell. That's a lovely introduction. And yeah, we're very keen to get you in the UK. And I remember very well our first phone call. And it was quite magical for me too, because I phoned you off the cuff. I'd been watching you online. For anybody who doesn't know, we do a lot of events in the UK. We work with Barbara O'Neill, the Australian natural health therapist. She's very good. She's brilliant at her job. She has an amazing global audience. She's viral, and we've done some great events with Barbara. We've also got Brian Ardis coming over next year, and I was looking for someone to do another event with, and more of your videos were hitting my Facebook page, and I tuned in, and I absolutely loved them, Darrell. It totally resonated with me, and I loved your style. I picked up the phone, pressed a couple of numbers on your system, and I got straight through to you, which I wasn't expecting, but I know that you answer a lot of calls, which we'll probably talk about later. I spoke to you and said, Darrell, I love your work. Scotland is the home of the Braveheart. We have to get you here. And I spoke to you for a couple of minutes, and you said, I will be there in a heartbeat. That's exactly what you said. And I said that to some of our customers, and they were just over the moon. I shared some videos with them. So it just seemed straight away that it felt right to you and right to me. And as you said, you've tried to get this off the ground a few times. The third one's a charm. We have a cracking venue in England to start with a 5-day event. But I've got a few questions for you, Darrell, and then we'll talk about what we're planning for the UK. So firstly, the key thing that we were looking at was to get an event. When we chatted, you sent me some information with you on the mat doing the whole life certified course. And I sent that, I watched it, it was 9 days. I didn't watch the full 9 days, but I absolutely loved it, and I was intrigued by it. And I asked you if I could send it to some of my customers, which I did, and they tuned in straight away. Most of them sat and watched 9 days worth of video. Why do you think people can sit and consume content like that? Because you can hardly get someone's attention for 6 seconds on TikTok, but you had their attention for 9 days.
Well, just because I don't know them doesn't mean that I don't unconditionally and totally love them. And I know this is not the place to go that deep and talk about it, but understand, if I can just leave it really simple, we are family. We all have the same creator. And the minute that we realize that, then we need to understand that we need to serve each other. And this isn't a marketing pitch. This is how I live. I can live no other way. I don't have to know you to give you everything that I got from my heart.
And I kind of felt that because you gave a lot away straight away. You gave me access to the recordings. I think it's a $4,000 course to attend it in person. I watched from the start. I actually asked our customers to fill in a survey on it, Darrell, to give us their views, and their feedback was quite incredible. Darrell, you would know that not everybody would like your style, but it's a lot more than you might think. You're quite firm with people, you're quite straightforward.
There's
We
lives at
do,
stake. There's lives at stake, Steve. And I'm not
I,
trying to
I agree.
dramatize this, but there's lives at stake. We already know that. Even the unconscious know that there's lives at stake. And the reality is, my job is to show up and not worry about what people think about me. If I'm coming from my heart, even if it might stir something up inside someone, remember, if somebody already has my beliefs, okay, then it's easy, okay? But if somebody doesn't have my beliefs, it's going to stir things up. It might even piss them off a little bit, Steve. But guess what? If they come back, like a lot of people say, you know what, you irritated me, you stirred things up, but I don't know why, you keep coming up on my feet. I went back. And as I went back, I realized what your intention truly is.
A very good point, and it's 100% on the money, because that's what our survey results showed quite clearly. They said, yeah, he's hard, he's firm, yeah, he can be quite tough, quite straight talking, to the point. It just shows you how many people in the world are straight talkers these days, Darrell. People are just living a lie and not being their authentic self. You talk about that often. And I think the way you deal with people reaches into that desire for people to actually be their authentic self. It could be that's part of it, that they realise that they can take the tough talk. It's tough love, Darrell, but it's absolutely needed. As you say, we are talking about life and death here, so they've got to get it pretty quickly. If they don't get it soon and they don't make changes soon, they're going to be in wheelchairs, in walking sticks, crippled, wearing diapers or nappies, as we would call them, as an adult. They're going to be in old folks' homes, care homes, checking out early, Darrell. There's a lot at stake here.
I'm telling you, everybody better embrace the word empathy. And we need empathy for everyone. We don't need to suffer for people, but we need empathy, because there's people, they're not ignorant, they're not stupid, okay? They've just been programmed. So I want everybody to understand something, that the way I live is this: I observe without judgment. And we need to observe and understand that everybody has been programmed. So the reality is that we need to become that light and shine that light, and we'll shine it as long as we have to. Steve runs the Good Food Project, and that he runs that through the whole of UK. And everybody needs to embrace this. Everyone that's on my platform. And if you're from the UK, you need to go and check out the Good Food Project.uk. This is not me just trying to promote him, okay? All right? I want you to go there, because the reason why this is magical is because we have somebody that says, yes, I'm going to create a business, and that business is going to be about people, and it's going to be about healing people. So that's why Steve and I are coming together to really try to make a difference and try to actually help you crack the coconut from the inside out and take a real good look at your subconscious beliefs, and that if you were the creator of your beliefs, what would your personality look like? What would your life look like? What would you truly be doing? And how would you truly be feeling? Steve?
Yeah, I totally agree. And we'll talk about that cracking of the coconut, Darren. You mentioned something there about programming, and I'm going to give you a very personal observation that I had. I think it was on day 3. You talk often about the programs that run in people's heads. And I'm listening to you, and I know it's correct. We're all programmed. We might be awake, but we're still living a program. We're rerunning programs, the reliving yesterday's fights or arguments from the past, or going over old ground, or dealing with tomorrow's potential conflicts in your head. You're living through all the same emotions. And I caught myself, Darrell, in the shower doing something that I, unbeknownst to myself, do every day, where I go through these constant conversations in my head. And they can be quite negative. I might be thinking, yeah, they're going to say that, and I'm going to say this. And it can be quite, I didn't realize it, but I'm doing it to myself. And I caught myself doing it because you put it under the spotlight, and I heard myself. I heard a program running in my head for the first time in my life. It was loud. it was clear, and I felt as if I was standing next to myself, and I could hear it. I could hear my mind telling me things, and I thought, I've got a chance at controlling this. I've got a chance at changing this, and it was a revelation for me. And I think it could be a revelation for so many people. It's that thought process, it's those programs in their mind that are creating their reality. And there was some things that you said, and it took 3 days, Darrell, and I got it. And as I said, for the first time, I could hear myself and I could hear the programming. And I'm not finished with it yet. I think the courses that you've got coming up will help me crack that coconut, as you call it. When you talk about cracking the coconut, you talk about defeating the programming and becoming your authentic self. Is that technically what you mean there? Is that correct?
Yes, I'm talking about feeding the only thing that really matters, which is the spirit we came with.
I felt it loud and clear, and I wanted it for more people, Darrell, because I think there's so many people struggling with those inner thoughts that are holding them back in life and affecting their health. They're killing themselves with it, they're ruining their lives with it. And I think one of the biggest things that we're going to do is, by bringing you and Sage and the team to the UK, is to help them create these strategies that are going to get them to look inward, see their challenges, see the problems that they exist with, and decide what to do about them. And I think you're a master at it. I loved watching it, and the people that I got the feedback from, they loved watching it as well. So I'm really looking forward to that side of it, Darrell.
On a personal level, there's nothing more important to me than helping someone end the struggle that they don't have to struggle. And the belief system is the struggle. And everyone has different belief systems because their attention goes different places, or they had a weak moment and somebody said something, and then it actually really did wound them very deeply. But the reason why, everybody just know this, the reason why we're coming is not that we can end your struggling. We're coming so that you can learn the strategies and the tools to actually, become that which you want, and then become the light for the family. And when your family sees how you just surf through your day and you don't get tossed by the waves anymore, they're going to come to you. So we mind our own business, we find our authentic self, and we shine that bright light, of authenticity, and watch people lovingly come to you and ask you, can I have some? Steve?
Yeah, I totally agree. And Darrell, on a sort of deeper level, looking back, you're wide awake to all that's going on. And you and I have chatted quite a few times. I'm on the same page with you with most things, like to the letter, same percentages. I'm on board with what you believe. And I think a lot of people who might not voice it are thinking the same things. And we've got a lot on our shoulders. There's a lot to take in as you strategize what the future holds and what of that future you can actually control. But how do you think they manage to program so many people so easily? How do you think they manage to do it? Is it the food, the constant TV? How have they managed to sow these programs in so many people, or implant them as weapons in people's minds?
Okay, I hope that I'm not going too deep, but these families, these bloodlines, they've been doing this since the beginning of time. And the reality is they have to buy the government, they have to buy the media, They have to poison the foods, they have to poison the air, the water. They have to make the medical system the only health care, and because they're scared of us. I'm going to tell you something right now. If these families, these entities were so powerful, why would they have to poison us? If they were so powerful, why do they have to lie to us? And that's because, guess what? If we wake up and we remember what we truly are and what we were truly meant to do and be, the party's over. Think about it, A couple 100,000 people, actually rule 8 billion people. And the only way they can do that is to poison the skies, poison the water, poison the food, poison your mind. And every one of us went to a Rockefeller or Rothschild school, and God love our parents. They were forced into having to send us to a public school because the whole thing is about money, and it's called taxation, inflation, it's called inflammation, it's called destruction. And the reality is this: Our parents did the best they could, but it was just a setup. And if everybody could just understand that the beliefs that you're running shape your personality, and guess what? If you're sick, okay, you need to understand that's your body rebelling against the personality that is fraudulent. It's fraudulent, okay? A person is sick because they have sick beliefs and they don't know it. A person's healthy because they have healthy beliefs. They bloody well know it, okay? A person, okay, all right, is wealthy on whatever level because they're running beliefs. And those beliefs, you were lucky enough to get them from the preachers or teachers or the people that you thought had authority over you that actually weren't trying to take authority over you, but actually teaching you things to empower you or disempower you. That's it. It's the roll of the dice. So unless we're going to take massive personal action on a personal level, crack the coconut from the inside out and open up that subconscious and take a look at it like a menu, and then going, if I went to the restaurant and I was going to eat, I wouldn't be looking at the things I don't want to eat anymore. So don't focus on the belief systems that are hurting you and hurting your family. Focus on the belief systems that are loving, honoring, and respecting you, okay, from the highest level. And then only focus on that. Listen, you need to get this. Cancer is not genetic, and neither is there any other diseases. There's no diseases that are genetic. That's been proven. Go look at the genome factor and understand something. We are creators, whether we do it on a conscious or an unconscious level, and I only want you to teach that you are the master creator. You were created to create, okay? And whether you believe it or not, that the creator of all things says, guess what? I created everything, but I didn't create evil. I created everything, and it's up to you to decide what you want to create. Evil only is on this planet because we can't embrace unconditional love, because every time we looked after ourselves, it was selfish, and every time we looked after everyone else, even though there was no payback or there was no end result that was good, because people aren't ready to heal, they're not ready to feel until they're ready. And this is why I tell people, mind your own business and become that which you want for the people you love.
Yeah, and that comes across in the 9-day course, which is the whole life certified course. Now, when we do events in the UK, we tend to have 5-day events, Darrell. And normally we have it, they can turn up for 3 or 5 days, or even a day. For your course, it's just the 5-day course. We're locking them in a room with us. We've got the mat there. There's going to be 25 people in the mat. And I felt that I came to you, because originally when I spoke to you, I'm thinking our normal format. Darrell stands up and talks about subject number 1 in front of a lectern, and it's all on screen, because that's the way we do events. But with you, I looked at it and I thought, no, I don't want to mess with the magic at all. I watched the magic work in real time over 9 days. I didn't want to mess with it. You sat with people in Mexico, barefooted and in shorts and your lovely loud shirts, and where you are just now, and you had Rafa and the team there video it, and you had people sitting around the mat tuning in, and each of them got your attention, and each of them benefited individually and as a group, as each other's problems was put on the table and poked and prodded by yourself into shape. What the idea I had was to say, let's replicate that. Let's bring them into the mat. Let's create a ticket for people who want to be on the mat with you, 25 tickets for that. And then we have another 225 tickets behind that of people watching this live event, if you like. They can get involved in Q&A as well, and they can watch, but they're in the room. You know yourself, buildings have energy, people have energy, people's problems have energy, and we're talking about it, and people are tuning in. But that person on the mat's problem is someone in the back row's problem, and it's 1,000 or 2,000 people watching this online's problem, Darrell, as they tune in and just watch this live event. People love this reality TV stuff. I'm not saying this is that, but there's an element of people just getting to the root of the problem and a real human understanding of what life can be, what problems we've created for ourselves, and what opportunities we have with the right coaching and the right strategies and the right techniques to make you sit up and take notice. And when I said to you, I want to do it on the mat, and I want to have the live audience in the theatre watching it, but we have the virtual audience. And you said something along the lines of "Thank you for your beautiful mind," or "Thank you for that beautiful idea, Darrell." So you've, although you come across as quite, I say that to people, Darrell comes across as quite tough when you see him in the first day, but it's part of the deprogramming, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Darrell.
No, you're absolutely right, Steve. And I will tell anyone, whether you're on the mat, you're one of the 25 on the mat, whether you're one of the 260 in the audience watching, or you're at home in the comfort of your own living room, by the third day of the 5-day course, we will have cracked the coconut and you will be drinking that coconut juice of unconditional love and care for yourself. And you'll realize that you are the gift that was created by the creator of all things. And you will realize it will bring you to tears. You think I'm kidding? I am nobody special. Everything that I'm going to do up there in this 5-day course, I teach. And I've taught to tens of thousands of people around the world. And every one of you have genius. Every one of you have the ability to do what I do, or even better, because I'm going to give you everything I've got. And then I want you to tell me and say it out loud. You know what? Thank you for the course, Darrell. But guess what? I'm going to do better than you. And you know what? That will make my heart sing. And I just want to say this, Steve. When you said that you were going to do this, I could have never dreamed of such a beautiful gift. Everyone, I'm almost 70 years old. I've been teaching, the whole life health certified course, since I was 28 years old. And this Braveheart Circle 5-day one is a training. It's not a certification. But if you want to change your life on an emotional, physical, and mental level, I will give you my phone number, and you can tell me that I didn't do it by the third day if you want. The reality is this: I was born for this, and you were born for this too. We were all born for this. Steve?
100%, Darrell. I think on day three, it clicked for me. And as I said, there was a few things, and I felt I had. Don't get me wrong, Darrell. I think most people's problems are very deep rooted, and I'm tuning in and out of your recordings that you sent me as I'm doing my work. I'm half in, I'm half out. If you're sitting on that mat and your life has been put on hold while you put yourself on the front line as the most important subject matter of that week, and you're dedicated to sitting on that mat with you, or dedicated to being in that audience, or dedicated to being online. Now, not everybody can sit and watch a 5-day course online, but I'm going to say to people, the same as you watch live football or live boxing or whatever turns you on sports-wise, if you can, take the time off and tune in from home, because live is very different. There's an atmosphere within a live environment, and the energy of those virtual attendees is very important to this, Darrell. I want 2,000 people watching this in real time, because we're going to take their questions, we're going to get them up on the screen. They're part of it, Darrell. They don't need hotels, they don't need flights, they don't need to leave home. It's a relatively cheap ticket, but what they do need is to put their time to it. And I think people can find 5 days. If they cannot physically get the time off work, fine. You have the recordings and you can watch it. And what we would say is watch it, binge it like you would with a Netflix box set. Watch it every night and then watch it again, Darrell, because that is what they have got the best ticket in town. If they can't get there, one, I would say to be on the mat is the perfect place for a lot of people, but it's not for everybody, Darrell. Darrell, you know this yourself. You have safe seats, you call them safe seats in Mexico. They don't want to be on the mat. They want to sit. You know yourself, Darrell. Not everybody wants to be there. They're too open. They become too. Some of their problems are too deep. They do not want to address them, but they'll get close from the sidelines. They'll put them on their own table. They might not put them on the table in front of all these people, but your own private awakening to this, your own private understanding of yourself is incredibly important. And I had that by flicking in and out, Darrell. I know there's much more for everybody. Interestingly, when we launched the tickets, the mat seats were the ones that went first. I couldn't believe it. I thought they were going to run a mile from the mat. That's what they wanted, having watched the 9-day course. They wanted to be on the mat, and they know they're going to expose themselves, but they want to put their problems on the table. It's a really interesting thing. I just think the
If I
more people we have watching this, the more problems we're going to be able to solve, Darrell. And I think you're right. In day three, something flips, and that's why there's no day tickets for this. It's a 5 day ride, Darrell. They're coming in for 5 days. That's enough to give them the life changing strategies that they need.
And understand this, everyone, there's nothing wrong with you, but your subconscious doesn't want you on the mat. It wants you to observe still because it fears you going on the mat, because when the drama happened in your life, it felt like it was going to kill you. So your subconscious wants to protect you because last time it felt like it was going to kill you. So it says you're not ready yet. So that's what the subconscious does. It's a very fearful thing, but it will protect you and say, look, maybe you're not changing, maybe you're still suffering, but I don't want you to die. So you got to prove to your subconscious and unleash that Braveheart inside. And that takes a little bit of WD-40, but you'll have it by day 3. And it doesn't matter if you're on the couch, in the chair, or on the mat, okay? Just know this, okay? You have what it takes to unleash that Braveheart.
Yeah, I agree. Normally, when we speak to speakers, we have it all mapped out, and at 10 o'clock, Barbara Neal's going to talk about this. And I've just ripped up my event rule book here because I'm just basically saying, Darrell, just do whatever you do. I don't want to mess with the magic in any way. You get them on the mat, you look at them straight in the eye, you deal with each one in the priority that you see fit. We're going to field questions from the audience, so we're going to try and get as many questions answered that help as many people as possible. And the beauty is, as well, and we spoke to Sage the other day, and I'm a big fan of Sage's. I really like his style. He's very different from you, Sage, isn't it? You get a different energy about each other.
Yes, my energy comes from plowing the field. And when you go to plow the field the first time, you're going to hit some rocks. And that means that with the way I train and the things that I do, I bring the thunder down. And when you bring the thunder down and you give people back their power, you're going to upset the powers to be. And the reality is, I'm glad that he doesn't have to plow the field.
Yeah. And the beauty of this is we're going to get you products in the UK, and we're going to get them before this course. The course is in July. It's the 28th of July to the 1st of August. This is course 1. This is the course for patients, the public, people who want to learn for themselves, mainly.
The art of living, the art of truly living from the moment you rise until you close your eyes, and staying in the present moment, because our power is only in the present moment. What if you could actually stay in the present moment? What if things that used to set you off, you were gone for 15 minutes in brutal punishment, struggling, wrestling with yourself? You know what? Suffering is not the way. Observing and growing is the way, not judging and then putting yourself in judgment jail. Some people, if the same thing happened to 100 people, everybody's going to decide how long they put themselves in that invisible mental prison, which actually will cause the diseases, because there are no diseases. It's psychological rules the biological. So let's just crack the coconut. Steve?
Yeah, I totally agree. As I said, I think that's what I experienced, and I think what others are going to experience. And over and above that, Darrell, we have the cell sonic equipment and the cardio med beds, and Sage and yourself are going to do some Wolfe non-surgical. We talked about this, you and Sage and I, just the other day, and we did a sort of quick calculation of 260 people, 5 days. Can we get everybody a treatment so that they all get a chance to see what the med beds or the cell sonics or the hands-on Wolfe non-surgical? Do you want to talk about these devices and the future of this kind of frequency medicine, if you like?
Absolutely. I'll try to make it as brief as possible. Can you open up the shot, please? Okay. All right. Open up the shot. Bigger. Thank you. Right here, you'll see this is called a cell sonic regeneration. Everybody, you have 0.04 volts in every cell if you're healthy, okay? And understand this, when the voltage drops, the oxygen drops. If it drops by 15%, GPS called pain, okay, inflammation, okay, swelling will come in, and if it stays long enough, then what happens is you pull calcium from your bones. The calcium from your bones goes in your joints, tendons, ligaments, and muscles. The other problem is because of the inflammation, if it stays long enough and strong enough, inflame causes dehydration of your tissues. Now your tissues, they will actually shrink this way, and we call that beef jerky. Did you know that you don't want to get rid of the scar tissue? All you want to do is bring back the electrical conductivity, which will bring back the oxygen, and you want to actually use Wolfe non-surgical, using the elbow, to pull the fibers apart that's now beef jerky, to allow the lymph flow, the blood flow, and the electrical conductivity to flow. Does everybody understand that you have pain, you have swelling, you have stiffness in your body because of scar tissue and crystallization and calcification? If we get the calcium back into the bones, if we bring back the oxygen, the electrical conductivity to the tissues, they're brand new, just like when you were younger. Understand that old age, okay, is actually scar tissue and displaced calcium. Come on, osteopenia, osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, calcium deposits in the breast. How about this? Gallstones, kidney stones. Understand that all except for the gallstones and the kidney stones, all the calcium you lost from your bones is still in your body. We know how to get it all back in, and for you to restore your bones completely, restoring your muscles, restore your tendons, ligaments, and understand something. What a good sales pitch that is, Darrell. No, it's not. I'll give you a money-back guarantee on the first treatment that we take you further in that first treatment than all other treatments combined. Because why don't you talk to your body worker and ask them about scar tissue and calcification? They're going to go, what do you think a fibroid and a tumor is made out of? It's made out of scar tissue and calcification. And understand, even in an active tumor, only 4 to 5% of the cells are actually stage 4 inflammation, which they call cancer, which I do not believe in. And we don't need to get into that today, but I use a cell sonic regeneration right here beside me. It's 25,000 volts put into a love harmonic, and it pulses. It's not painful, but it goes in and fractures the calcium to ionize it, and it actually brings in the electrical conductivity that brings the oxygen up. You can shut down stage 4 inflammation in just a few pulses. I can maybe not lift my arm and just do cell sonic regeneration without even the non-surgical, and I can lift it. We're going to have 2 cell sonic regenerations at the Braveheart Health and Healing, okay, the Art of Living in Cheshire, England, for the 5 days, okay? And you're going to be able to sample it. We're going to let everybody sample it. Understand something. We're going to let you sample it. And then guess what? If you want to get a treatment with Dr. Sage Wolfe or Jesse Malcolm, who is a master practitioner, they will be doing treatments there if you want a full-fledged treatment. So understand this. And then we have what's called, okay, cardio med bed. What would you do and how would you feel if you had perfect circulation? Then you'd have perfect health. This is the device that you wear cuffs on your lower leg, upper leg, around your pelvis. How about this, everyone? Okay, so right now we have a gentleman, okay, and he can only walk 10 to 20 steps and then he's out of breath. That's how blocked up his heart is. Now, you can believe this or not believe this, but when cardio med beds were just in hospitals, okay, they cost $250,000. That's how much for each one, okay? The cardiologists went on strike and said, they go or we go, okay? So I've been able to get those cardio med beds, and I've been able to actually, what we actually get them for practitioners is only a fraction of the price, $45,000 with a 2-year warranty, and the things are in mint condition. And the reality is this, is that after 40 hours, everyone that's ever come to us that was supposed to go for heart surgery, after 40 hours, they have a brand new heart, brand new arteries. I'm not making this up. All the science is there. You can go to dodpowerpack.com, look at the cell sonic regeneration, look at the cardio med bed. But between Wolfe non-surgical, cell sonic regeneration, and the cardio med bed, that's why it's called dodpowerpack.com. We bring the thunder down. And we have created hundreds of clinics that are Power Pack clinics that we promote all over the world and send people to. So what I'm just trying to tell you, everyone, is this, okay? It's always been about electrical conductivity and oxygen in the cells. We know that. And it's always been about circulation. Ask anyone, if you can't get out of bed, just know this. If you can't get out of bed, all right, your circulation, okay, and your electrical conductivity, okay, is actually down, okay, by 35%. And that's what happens. When your oxygen and your electrical conductivity comes down by 35%, they call that cancer. Oh, what's the cause of cancer? And I don't believe in the cancer, but stage 4 inflammation, stage 5, yeah, okay, we'll call it that. But if I bring back the oxygen, I bring back the electrical conductivity, then what does disease mean? That means that you're out of alignment with your true self. So the reality is this, is that we're just looking at a whole different paradigm, okay? And we'll back it up. Thank you, Steve.
And that kind of brings me on to the next thing. So we've got this 5-day event, and you were right to suggest this. You said, look, I'm in the UK anyway. I've travelled all that way. You and I are both of the opinion that travelling is going to get quite difficult beyond next year, Darrell. And I think beyond that, 2027, I think there's going to be some serious challenges with this kind of thing. But by that time, we've got the connection. What you wanted to do was to leave your practitioners with your knowledge, with access to the med beds, sales, and we're going to buy in the products because we're already sending out thousands of grocery boxes every month to people, and they buy a lot of supplements and nutraceuticals from us, and you've got a great product range. So we're going to be in a position to stock up our UK warehouses with your products and get them out to your practitioners who come on your 2 courses that we're running in Scotland after the 5-day event. And these practitioners are going to be able to buy the equipment like cells and the med beds. I'll leave you to organise that. But then these practitioners can get their products, your products, from us, which means that you've got a base in the UK, and then they can recommend those products and those solutions to their customers. Now, your product range, Darrell, is quite amazing, and we're going to talk about the dates for the practitioner courses after the 5-day public event, because they're going to be run in Scotland. But can I touch on your products first? And I'm conscious of time here because I don't want to run over too far from what we'd intended. Your products, Darrell, I love when you talk about your products because you talk about them with such conviction that every single product you talk about, I want to buy it. And I think other people do. And the surveys that I had back from people who watched your course, they wanted to buy the products too because they were asking me. Now, people don't want to buy products from America and ship them in. They've got customs and everybody's all paying to have stuff sent, one bag of pills or one bottle of whatever being sent from the USA. I'd rather have a warehouse full of the stuff here, Darrell, so that people can access it in the UK. I'll land it in the UK. I'll pay the customs and I'll get this stuff to your practitioners in the UK so that they can have some of those solutions here. Can you talk and touch on some of your products and why you believe they're best of breed in the world?
First, just know this, everyone, that Steve will be not just selling to practitioners, but also patients, I'm pretty sure. And the next thing is, okay, look, I have been in business for 45 years. When I first got in the business, remember, everyone, okay, when I first got really into the health business, I was 24 years old. I started really early. And back then, we sold supplements. I thought, what a scam. Oh my God, we're actually making money when people could just eat food, and we're selling supplements and we're making money off of it. Once you start to really realize, okay, that if it's not in the soil, it's not in the food. If it's not in the food, it's not in you. And even back then, the soil was already depleted. And the reality is, I wasn't awake yet, but a supplement is not a nutraceutical, and a nutraceutical is a concentrated nutritional food, but has the highest frequency possible. If you take a look at my humic, there's humic. People sell humic all over the world. And fulvic, they are the best chelators of heavy metals, parasites, chemicals. They drop off 40 micronutrients into the body. They lock down whatever the poison is, wherever it gets it, and you don't have to have any symptoms coming out, and it gets locked down, stays that way in nature once you poop it out. The reality is, people will buy shilajit or charcoal or zeolite, but that can't even come close to this. So I looked at every product that was essential, and understand, everybody, I need you to get this. I'm not a fad guy. Okay, so every year to 2 or 3 years, there's a new fad. You know the ones that are going on. The products that I've been carrying, most of them I've been carrying for 35 years. My daily cleansing tea is the most high vibrational frequency daily cleansing tea that cleanses. It's no laxative, no stimulants, cleanses your colon, your liver, your blood, your kidneys, okay, and your lymph. and all together. But the bowel movements are fantastic. And guess what? Nobody likes a good bowel movement. Oh, come on. And everybody thinks they have a good one. But meanwhile, guess what the main illness is on this planet? It's called leaky gut. And then it goes to leaky brain. And guess what? There are no autoimmune diseases. Your body's not attacking itself. Your body's attacking the waste because you're pooping in your pelvis. And that is everyone. And it is the most misunderstood. And daily cleansing tea can be taken your whole life. And guess what? Between daily cleansing tea and the black gold humic, if you just did nothing else, you couldn't afford anything else, I just saved your butt by 85 to 95% of all the symptoms. And black gold will reinstate the good bacteria better than any bacterial product. So understand, the holy grail is the large intestine. From your mouth to your rectum is the highway of life. And then I've got the only pure oral vaccine iodine in the world, non-toxic. Even our stage 4, 5 patients are taking 1.5 ounces a day because we don't make iodine. And the iodine ions, okay, you know what they do? They actually are the flip switch for stage 4, 5 inflammation. They call it cancer cells to kill themselves and get rid of themselves. And then there's calcium ion therapy, the only calcium product in the world that is actually in ions. It's invisible. The same way your body was when you were young. Look at when you were born, okay, your body, every centimeter was causing a little fracture throughout when you were a baby. That's why you were growing every day like this, because it would fracture, it released the calcium, create calcium ions that created more calcium, so you were making and breaking bone. By the time that you're 35, 45 years old, you're not making breaking bone anymore. So what if you could take a product that actually brought you back to in your youth, that you're making breaking bone properly? Guess what? You got bones as if you're young again, and you could have them when you're 80. And you think I'm making this up? Go to calcium ion therapy in the Evolve section of BraveheartNationApp.com, world's largest healthcare self-care app. And then go in and look at the science. I also make the most purest concentrated IGF-1, okay, in the world. And if you know about IGF-1, the human growth hormone, when you had all that energy, when you could party tonight and party tomorrow, and you felt vibrant, look at me, I'm almost 70. IGF-1 is made by the human growth hormone that goes into your liver. And if you take my IGF-1, you go to the doctor, they couldn't even find it. They think that your liver made it, and they'd be going, oh my God, how are you making all this IGF-1? Okay, that is the youth, fountain of youth hormone chemical. Yeah, it makes more collagen than anything else. It creates more toned muscle than anything else, balances hormones, inhibits, they call cancer cells, and it excites stem cells. I can keep going, and it just gives you vital energy, okay? And then let's not stop there, all right? I have what's called, I'm the only one who has it, it's called Healthy Mouth Tooth Spray. And in it, I have what's called psychobiotic sweetener. It looks like sugar, it tastes like sugar, it feels like sugar. We sell it by the bag. And guess what? When you take this, you think you're eating sugar, and it's going in and it's restoring the good bacteria in your mouth all the way through your digestive tract, right down to your bowel. But my tooth spray, guess what? There's nothing that will balance your mouth and clean your teeth and your mouth better. And then I have what's called Healthy Mouth mouthwash. And understands, everyone, there's no such thing as gum disease, it's bum disease. You're rotting out in your bowel. And it's the bad bacteria that are giving off the gas from the endobacterium, they're the bad bacteria, gassing off. And why you gotta get your teeth cleaned? Because it's actually, those are microscopic poo particles. Okay, honey, please don't give me a kiss in the morning. Okay, I think somebody pooped in your mouth. To understand something, everyone, you are gonna learn what you've never learned before if you come to Cheshire, England, and you take that 5-day course, or if you're a health professional and you want to come to Scotland and take the 9-day whole life certified course because you want it all, or you want to come and take our Wolfe non-surgical certified course, which is 12 days in Scotland at the most beautiful place. Steve will be talking about it. But understand, I'm going to tell you right now that we are going to teach you the truth about things. How many of you only take 800 or 1,000 vitamin D a day? How about this? I take 50,000 to 100,000 every day, and most of you think I'm crazy. If you went to the doctor, they'd think you're crazy. Remember something, everything was turned upside down and inside out to take you off track. I have so many different products, okay? I have the only silver, it's called Silver Bullet Immunity. All silver products, please go do your homework. I don't care if you're in England or Scotland or where you are. Silver lasts 8 to 10 minutes in the body. Ours lasts 8 to 10 hours. How's that? I have the only fulvic that you can put in your eyes that actually will draw inflammation, heavy metals out, and drop nutrients off into your eye that you can actually put into your eyes. Okay? You can also put my infinite iodine into any orifice, and it's going to purify. And infinite iodine, like I told you, we have the only pure iodine in the world that even our cancer patients, okay, are taking 1.5 ounces. Okay, and you can nebulize the infinite iodine, and guess what it'll do? It'll get rid of any type of infection or problem in your lungs, your brain, behind your eyes, in your ears, because it's all just a cave, and it'll go into your bloodstream. And you can also nebulize the silver bullet immunity or the bright ice fulvic. Okay, so let me see. I'm just going to take a quick look here. I've got a product called Perfect Brain. It is the best brain formula on the market. I have a product called the Perfect Day Multi. It's 150 nutrients in it. You won't find a prenatal or any other multi that'll even come near this. That took us 6 years to put together, that it would actually formulate properly. And then we don't do coffee enemas. We do the ultimate coffee enema because everybody's got leaky gut. And if you're dumping and cleaning your liver, what are you going to do? You're going to actually put that poison into your colon. And because the tight junctions have been torn open by glyphosate, by antibiotics, by sugar, and all the chemical poisoning, then you're going to put that back into your body. Black gold will suck that up and carry it out so that when you do the ultimate coffee enema, because guess what? How many of you own a car? Did I drive that car? Would you drive a car for 40 or 50 years and not oil change it or change the filter? What about this? Even you men, get down on it. Ultimate coffee enema. Women, I'm going to tell you something. I have a pure nutraceutical strategy called vaginal infusion, and we can dissolve fibroids. We can dissolve endometriosis. We can turn around infertility. You can. It's your vaginal canal. You can actually get rid of yeast problems. You can actually get rid of cysts on your ovaries. You can actually get rid of hip pain. Okay, I can go on and on. You can get rid of a dry vagina. You can get rid of an inflamed one. Okay, remember something, everyone. Then we have a clapper. I don't have it here right now, but you can clap any place on your body, because any place on your body that you have pain, it's a blockage of scar tissue and calcification. We have what's called belly button therapy, that you actually trigger your belly button, and that's called, it triggers your vagus nerve, the wandering nerve, and you can dump more dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins more than any drug or even making love to anyone. And that will give you 20 to 25% more stretch. And those are the healing, feeling hormones. We're going to show you so many tricks. And you know what? You can download my Perfect Day Guide, pdgfree.com, and then you can go in there and start reading it. And then you can wait until we get there, and we will bring the thunder down, and we will show you that we are true, we are authentic, and we will back up everything we say, even though it might seem like it's too good to be true.
And that's the point I was making, Darrell. When you talk about your product, the truth resonates. You can't talk like that. If, let's put it this way, half of the solution is believing from your point of view, but from the customer buying's point of view, they think, yeah, I believe that. I believe everything you said there. And that's half the battle.
Well, and if I can say this, Steve, I need to earn their trust. And the reality is, if you start following me and Steve, you're going to start realizing that we come heart first.
And that's what you're going to teach them. And that's why I believe this 5-day public course is going to be very important. And then we're going to move to Scotland, Darrell. I've got a couple of venues on the go, so we don't have the final venues yet, but lovely places in Scotland that will be easy enough to get to, but reclusive enough retreats where we can actually just go in, take over a small estate somewhere, we'll have the right place for Sage and yourself to do your work, and people will be able to spend 12 or 9 days with you guys. That is a certified course. Now, Darrell, your courses are certified by what body?
The biggest, how can I say this? The biggest organization called World Organization of Natural Medicine, which has not been corrupted by the government. And I don't mean to be like this, but almost every other association that is in healthcare that is corrupted by the government, yes.
So your 2 certified courses are approved?
Worldwide.
Yeah, and do you know? Interestingly, Darrell, I put out a survey to my customers on a waiting list, and I said, Darrell's been good enough to say that him and Stage are going to come and they're going to stay a bit longer and they're going to do two of these practitioner courses. And one of the questions was, do you want to add to your practitioner resources and skill set, or do you want to enter into the health game and learn these as potentially a business for yourself, or do you want to become your own practitioner and just really get good at being your own doctor and self-care is the only healthcare? I think half of them are wanting to come to the course, Darren, just to look after themselves better and just to get the full everything that injected into them, for want of a better phrase, and actually learn to protect themselves better. The knowledge is incredibly valuable to them. It surprised me yet again that there's people who are prepared to come to this course just to learn for themselves. That's a state of their health, or people's health as a whole, or just how important the awakened community are now looking at their health and saying that they're not going to be protected by their government's solution to health in any shape or form, or big pharma or their doctors in any shape or form. And if they are going to look after themselves and they are going to have the best possible life ahead of them, they're going to have to do it themselves. If you do it yourself, you're going to need some knowledge, and you've got 40, 50 years worth of knowledge there, Darrell, that you're prepared to give to these people, and they want it.
Just know this, everyone, that if you come to take the course, it doesn't matter. We got WhatsApp, we got Zoom, and every week we do a 2-hour training Q&A for all our practitioners, and all our practitioners have the opportunity to actually go on our worldwide map, and we will refer you. And I know you may not believe this, but we already have a following in Scotland, Ireland, in England. We're known all over around the world, and we really do. I'm not going to make this up. And everybody gets my personal phone number, and everybody gets a call back. And whether you want to believe that or not, you will have access to Dr. Sage Wolfe, Jesse Malcolm. He's a master practitioner as well that works with Dr. Sage with the Wolfe Non-Surgical Certified. If it comes to the Whole Life Coach Certified, you'll all get a call. And remember this, if you don't hear from me within 2 hours, you'll call me back. There are no dumb questions, everyone. There's you seeking knowledge. There's you seeking your authentic self and really shining your light and doing your passion and your purpose. Understand, if you've always wanted to be a practitioner, come on, look at the money that you're going to pay for this course when you go to take a look at it. Look at the support that you're going to get. No university, no college, no other place on the planet, I already know that, is ever going to support you like us. Everybody, this is the perfect day guide that you get as a practitioner. Look at it, okay? This is as good or better than any college or university around the world, okay? I've been doing this for a long time, and we knew that we were going to have to really sharpen our tools, because guess what? Oh, what are we? We're the alternative. No, we're not. We were here before they were. Thank you. They're the alternative. And the reality is everything we do is based on unconditional love and nature, and that's it. Can I see the non-surgical certified book is just as big as this as well. Jenny will get one, but understand something. We've done it all for you. And anybody that's a practitioner, we have what's called a practitioner portal, and in that practitioner portal, you have hundreds of consultations live from every round that I've done. You also have all the videos on how to do all the non-surgical, using the elbow technique and pulling scar tissue apart. I'm telling you, you can believe it or not believe it, but I can take a fibroid tumor the size of an orange and reduce it by at least 25% in the first treatment. And if I'm using cell sonic regeneration, I'm going to usually bring that down by 50%. Remember that. This is a fibroid tumor, okay, that everybody's so scared of. We're going to show you, do not be scared. Do not have fear anymore. Wolfe Non-Surgical and the Whole Life Coach Certified. I don't care if you've gone to what college, what university. I don't care what PhDs you have. I do care. I'm not disrespecting you. I'm trying to tell you that I will give you more take action strategies, knowledge, and tools, okay, in these courses than you have already.
And that's the key. So we've got two courses, Darrell. We have the Wolfe Non-Surgical, which is kind of hands-on with Sage, where they're going to be taught the deep, high-level body work, and that's the 3rd of August to the 14th of August.
Yes.
somewhere in Scotland. And immediately after that, we're going to have a very short break there. I think it ends on a weekend. And then the 17th to the 26th of August is going to be your whole life health certified course, which is almost an extension of the 5 days, but it's for practitioners, but it could be just a higher level above the 5 days for people who want more and who really are tuning into this and thinking that, yeah, this is the answers for me and members of my family, and I want to have these answers so that I can give people these strategies and these tools and this way of thinking. Because a lot of it's emotional, Darrell, isn't it? We are talking about emotions turning into the physical here and thoughts
Yes.
turning into the physical. And you deal with that very well in this course. And I know in advance I'm going to get a lot of people knocking on my door from the 5 day course who are going to say, can I come to one of the other courses? And they're going to be full by then because we're only going to get 50
Oh,
at
it'll be.
38 years. So I was going to say at yours, we're going to be able to do it online as well because it is a course that would lend itself a bit more to being virtual as well.
The only thing I'll say though is that when we do the whole life health certified online, okay,
they can't get the
it is approval of completion. It's not a certified course because you've got. We really need to be there hands-on to do it. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. Do you have any idea how many medical doctors and nurses and chiropractors, naturopaths take my course? Do you know how many people that are but were just mothers raising their children that always wanted to have more, that were people that were retired, that even teenagers just coming out of high school? Listen, when it comes to the whole life health certified, think about it. You can come for a few $1,000s and you can actually leave there and you have the strategies to either heal yourself and heal your family, help your family to heal, or you can open up your own practice. Now, I'm going to tell you something, Steve. This is not arrogance, okay? I have done this for thousands of people that go and open up their own practice after the first time. Remember something, everything is about confidence, but before you have confidence, you have to rewire your brain. You have to erase and replace belief systems that you have genius, that you have the power to heal yourself and teach others how to strategize and heal themselves from anything that they've created on a conscious or subconscious level.
I think your course, both courses are very important for practitioners, but I think your course is going to be an extra addition to some people who might want, some of them are going to want to be at the course, Darrell, but they're not so interested in the certificate. They just want the information. And I think that's where the virtual ticket will
And
help
that's where the
people.
online, anywhere in the world, okay? And I need everyone to understand this. Prior to us coming and just starting in the new year, Rafa, could you please show this right now? Bring that up. I'm not going to go through this with everyone, but guess what? Take a look at this. We are having a UK, Q&A every 2 weeks that you can come on at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have got Q&As based on our pelvic restoration course for women, for the whole life coach, that's Rock with the Doc. And then we have the Wolfe non-surgical Q&A with Dr. Sage Wolfe. Whether you're coming to the course, whether you're come to the course or not, this is free. Stick your toe in. It's not going to hurt. If you want to come on the Zoom, come and ask your questions. Okay? Steve?
Yeah, I was very pleased, Darrell, when you put this forward because it is an opportunity. You're giving away this for free, your time. You give a lot of stuff away. Sometimes people don't value free as much as paying for it, but I don't think that applies here. I think these Q&As are going to be very important, and I think some of the people from these Q&As that will miss out on the in-person tickets. We do not have a lot of people who can come to see you in person. There's only 260 can come to see you in Cheshire. There's only 30 people who can sit on that mat with you in Scotland and 50 who can sit with Sage, because that's the numbers that you guys can do to give the people the one-on-one support that they need to get the certification. That's fine, but that's where the virtual comes in. Now, we were going to have these virtual courses, but the Q&As are completely free. A lot of people, if they don't have money, definitely tune into the Q&As. But if you're interested in the course and you're swithering and don't want to come to Cheshire or don't want to buy the virtual ticket, go to the free Q&As, because I'll pretty much guarantee you're going to want to go to the 5-day virtual course or Darrell's 9-day virtual course. We can't do Sage's course virtually. That's a private course.
Yeah, the Wolfe non-surgical certified. I got to tell you, everyone, this is special. It's a special technique. I make no offense to anybody that does body work out there, but if you haven't seen Wolfe non-surgical, and I'm going to tell you, there's a reason why every practitioner that takes our course gives a money-back guarantee on every treatment they do, that they will go past the expectations of that person, no matter what the physical problem is. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah. So, as I said, I think that I'll put the agenda up, Darrell. People will be able to tune in. We're going to have sessions. They can ask their own questions. People are going to come in and ask you their particular question, and they're going to get an answer from a professional like yourself. I think it's an amazing offer. But as I said the word selfishly, they're going to want to come to the course from my point of view, because I want them on the course, but I don't look at it as dollars and pounds. We're building an alternative to supermarkets here, and I need as many people on board to embrace being in charge of their own health. And the more people who buy through us, we can be a small, massive organic supermarket who's out with and competing against these monsters who've been poisoning the food for years. We don't owe them one penny. When people realise what these people have been putting on their shelves and that they've been selling to their kids and their families, they should be so angry that they seem to have done something to the anger gene, because people are not getting angry enough. But let's put that to one side. You cannot buy food from these people. You cannot buy food from these people.
Yeah, the big one here, guys, okay? Remember, anger and hate, it can hurt you. It can hurt your body. It can hurt you all the way around. But understand something. Think about this. There's people out there that are actually hurting and creating diseases, and they know it. In the people and in the animals and the pets that you love. Think about that. If we don't come together as a Braveheart nation, then there's something wrong with us. There's 250,000 of them. There's 8 billion of us. Can we stop going to war with each other? Okay, and ourselves? Can we just put that down? Can we just understand that they created delusion that, you know what, color doesn't matter, language doesn't matter, okay? Religion doesn't matter, ethnic group does not matter. We were all created by the same creator. It's only unconditional love. That's all. That's all I want to do, okay? I know I teach courses, I know I sell products, that's the planet I live on, but at least I'm trying to get people self-empowered to understand something. You are the hero that you've been looking for. Steve?
Totally agree. Again, the key for us is more people joining a movement which is not supporting the energy or giving the other side your energy or your money or even your thoughts anymore, Darrell. I don't want to think about them. I don't want anything off them. I don't want their medicine. I don't want their education. I've got no reason to go back. They've sold us down the river. They've proven by your deeds you shall know them, and we know them now. You cannot go back. Therefore, we have to create something new. And this is about the positive of building something new, Darrell. We're building a food supply chain, a good food supply chain, and a product supply chain, and an information and knowledge supply chain that pulls it all together, and it delivers it to people so that they can come to us in the UK and say, well, if those guys put that in their shop and they endorse that guy or they're running a course with that guy, then they've done their homework because they're on the same page as us and we're on the same page as these awakened people, Darrell.
I understand completely, and I just want to say this to everyone before we end up closing, and that's this. If they were that powerful, they wouldn't have to poison us. You think about that, everyone. You think about that. If we weren't powerful, okay, they wouldn't have to poison us, okay? And we need to start making decisions that love, honor, and respect the temple that we've been given. Steve?
That's what we're about, Darrell. And I'm really looking forward to having you in the UK. It's been so nice to chat to you tonight. I hope it's given our customers and your customers. You've got a lot of UK followers, Darrell, on your site. I would warmly and personally invite them to look at what we do. Any follower of yours is a friend of ours. They will be absolutely looked after. If they're in the UK and they are fans of Dr. Darrell Wolfe, then they will love what we're doing as well. And we cannot wait to get you to the UK. We're looking forward to catching up with you guys in person, and we're looking forward to the impact that we can have on thousands of people in 2026, but beyond that as well. I think beyond 2026, we're going to do some amazing things, Darrell. Whether we can get you back to the UK, that waits to be seen, and we can have another chat about where we see things going. But right now, we're going to get these over the line while the coast is clear. We're going to get you guys in. I would encourage everybody who can come along in person to come along in person, because it's very special to be in that good energy bubble with people in the same room, people on the same page, the networking, the socializing, and just the feeling of listening to these things being discussed in a room live with someone of Darrell's standard in the same room as you, and being able to have those little conversations at night over dinner and all of that kind of stuff, as well as to look at the cell sonic devices, have the treatments. A great opportunity. If you can't come in person, the virtual is the next best thing, and we put on a good show virtually. We spend a lot of money getting it right, and I know you guys do too, Darrell, but the virtual experience is not like just watching a YouTube video. You're live, you're involved, you're part of it, and your energy is felt. And we need those virtual customers, and we're aiming for 2,000 or more. There's no ceiling, Darrell, but I think we can have 2,000 people watching that, and that's a drop in the ocean. There should be 20,000 people watching it, but let's go for 2, and we'll see where we end up. But it makes it all worthwhile, and we can keep our costs down and put on a really good show. Darrell, thank you for your time tonight. It's been excellent. Thank you to Rafa and the team and everybody involved. We had a great meeting with your team the other day. We love what you guys are doing. We cannot wait to get you over, and we're going to have a great time.
In finishing, I just want to tell everyone, I'm so excited I could pop. On a professional level, this is the icing on the cake. Whether Steve believes it or not, I don't say things lightly. This is the pinnacle of my 45-year career, and you will see my authenticity and you will feel it when I come. I will be hugging every one of you that will allow me when I come. I do not say this lightly. You are my brother, you are my sister, and God bless everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Darrell.